up, what I mean is I've removed the Bronco letters. So you can see that it no longer says Bronco across the center here. It needs just Welcome back to the workbench, where we try to make things. And we're continuing to make today is Revell's Ford FD-100 pickup, the Foose design kit they put out a while back that we are doing quite a bit different than the original kit. And if you like to get caught up on those differences, there's a playlist down in the description where you can get completely caught up to where we are right now. Where we are right now is finishing the interior. So what I thought I'd do first is show you that I have filled in those gaps we had here. Let me make sure you can see what I'm talking about. Fill in those gaps that we had here in the dash pad or the dashboard, this structure here, this dash structure. We have those big inset pieces there where it used to fit into the Bronco, but we're putting this in the F100, so we don't need that kind of inset piece that was right there. So I filled them in, basically just using styrene, just stacked styrene and glued it in, and then sanded it down to shape and filled it. In fact, let me pull the interior out here. If I can get it out. I've got it all taped together for us because the other thing I'm doing is kind of the last fitment, I guess you would say. And this thing fits really tight with that tape on there. There we go. So making sure everything fits correctly as it should, and it does. You can see I've got the dash actually not glued in, but taped in, and then the dash fits right in. Let me fold the dash up. You can see there's in the original Bronco center console, there's a slot right here where this tab fits into, and I've got that actually fitting into that tab. So it fits exactly where it needs to go. So I know everything's kind of lined up. We got a perfect T, I guess you could say, going right here. And then I was able to get these little tabs filled in, which smooths that out. Hopefully you can see that makes more of a smooth line heading into the door cards. And I think it'll be fine. We'll have the backside of the interior behind that, which will be painted body color. Also, the inside of this is going to get painted body color. So that'll be body color back there. And I think it's going to work fine. And then of course, just to show proof of concept, the seats fit just fine in here. They'll be like so. Now, of course, there's going to be a beauty panel back here. I don't think I'm going to do much with that panel because there's, not much of it's going to actually show. Basically, all we're going to have is a port coming in here from the bed because living right back here in the bed is the subwoofer box that's going to port in right here. So that's basically all I'm going to kind of do is build a panel that has, that port. We'll try to just kind of put a beauty ring around the port or something to that effect. Just have that, but it's not going to be much. But I do need to, now that I have everything, I think, worked out. I wanted to try to get color painted on these, body color that would be, but there was just more kind of cleanup I wanted to do on the firewall. I want to make sure this firewall is glass smooth, because when you open the hood, in fact, if I put this back in, we can take a look. I can show you. Let me see if I can get the interior back in here real quick. So the firewall sits right here, just right in front of your face, right? So there were some pinholes in here. I wanted to make sure and clean them up. I wanted to make sure this part angling back here was nice and clean. Some of this shows, so I want to make sure it's nice and clean and gonna be in body color. I've still got to build in the firewall, the backside, not firewall, but fender well, the backside of this fender well here. Because remember, these inner fenders, in case you're new to the channel, these inner fenders are actually out of Mercedes. So because it didn't really have full blown fenders, plus with upper strut mounts, because what this is using is a strut style airbag. So I needed kind of that up top, and so now I've got to finish off those here, which will be part of the body, right? Not part of, so the interior tub, I think this is pretty much how it's going to be. And then it's just a matter of finishing out the inner fenders. And I think that'll probably be good. The other thing that I had forgot about that I want to mention, because the next thing I want to do is also start working on the body. And I was thinking I pretty much had the body done, the structure of body, but I forgot there's The exhaust is going to come out right here. So I think I could probably just, 3D print some exhaust tips coming out. We can kind of just fake them coming out. The headers kind of run into, well, I should probably make it where you guys can see. The headers kind of run into this area, and then I can extend them because I'll probably try to, well, I'll probably run the inner fender well in front of where the exhaust comes out here. So I'll have to, from the header, run to this side, and then we'll have to put in the exhaust tips coming out here. You're going to be able to see them coming out of there. So I'll probably 3D print something for that. Other than that, the body itself, I think, is pretty good. I did go ahead and clean up the Bronco grill. And by clean up, what I mean is I've removed the Bronco letters. So you can see that it no longer says Bronco across the center here. Needs just, I've put primer on it since I need to do just a little bit of cleanup on this side, it looks like, but it's actually pretty close, pretty good. Very tedious work to get those little bitty letters. I just use an X-Acto knife. And just slowly whittled them out. And I need to go in and clean that up just a little bit more. But I also cleaned up these corners here. So now the Bronco, so this is all Bronco core support that we grafted into this body and then added this bottom piece. This bottom piece was from the Bronco also, if I remember right. I can't even remember. At this point, I can't remember. I think this bottom piece that we molded in here, there's just a ton of body work that went on in all this. But that's from the Bronco 2 also. But the core support definitely is. And now I think it fits a little, well, if I can figure out which way it goes, which is not this way. Yeah, not this way. Upside down. There we go. It fits a little cleaner with the grill just kind of rounded on these corners here just a little bit better. I think that fits a little bit cleaner in there. I've also got to get our headlights wired in. Also, I was thinking about running, I could probably run, because I was thinking about trying to run a dash light if I wanted to have light, these actually, the info center and the, whatever we call these, the gauges light up. I could probably run a light. Let me see, which I would have to actually order. I don't have one right now. But I'm wondering if I could run it. Yeah, because we're putting, where did we decide? Oh, that's right. We're building a base for this that's going to have the batteries and everything. So I could run, I think what I could do is run the wire for the LED up the center console and then up behind the dash here. And then, I just have to cut these out, put in clear with the gauge, the decals and whatnot. And I think that would light up. And that might look pretty good. I also had thought about doing a dome light. I don't know if I could get one up there, if there's a way, because I could do another 4-light kit. So I have a 4-light kit. You can go back and see this, and I'll probably do another update on it once we've got the headlights in, or you can go back and check it out. I've got a 4-light kit for tail lights and headlights. I can probably do another 4-light kit for like interior lighting, which I'm thinking dash, dome light. I think I probably want to put a light in the speaker box and the sub box. And that would leave us another light. Maybe we could do something under the hood. Maybe we could do a light under the hood, because the wires on the leads on those lights, which I don't have up here with me, but they are super thin. I mean, I could literally run the lead into a light and just mold in a light there to have an under hood light. That might be kind of cool, and then it would light up the motor. So that's probably something we're going to do just to kind of touch back on the lighting. But I want to get the body work and everything done and this interior work done. Of course, I probably need to think about that. Keep the idea of, I can't glue things in if I need to run lighting, so I need to make sure and do that. But yeah, let me know what you think. I think that'll be a cool idea. So we'll have two 4-light kits, so 8 lights, 2 kits, and I think that would work well. And if you remember right, the battery and the light housings and all that's going to live in a base we're going to build for this, like a show card style base. and we're going to have the wires come up from that base. I think because it's going to be sitting on the ground, it'll be easy to do. Now, I do want to have, so I got to, this is just real quick. I do want you to be able to see the that's right, because we're going to make it disconnect. That's right. We're going to put connection points in the base, connection points on the frame of the car, so that when you set the car on the base, it completes that circuit, lights come on. But then you can still pick up the car and see the bottom. So there we go. I just had to remind myself of what we were doing. We got sidetracked with a 10,000 subscriber celebration and all that. But anyways, we're back at it. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. I'm excited to be back to work on this. I'm excited to get back to work on the Revell, also on the heavy Chevy, and I'm also excited to get to work on Myers Garage's shop truck for the celebration build. So let me let you guys go. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I really do want to hear what you have to say. Hit those like button, subscribe button, hit all the buttons, do all those things everybody tells you to do on YouTube. I got a lot of work to get back to. I've got a lot of kits to get back to, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.